All right, this week the Biden administration released the country's first national strategy for combating anti-Semitism.
We must say clearly and forcefully that anti-Semitism and all forms of hate and violence have no place in America. And silence is complicity.
Last year, there were nearly 3,700 reported incidents of anti-Semitic assault, harassment, and vandalism in the U.S. According to the Anti-Defamation League, that is a 36% increase over 2021.
Former President Barack Obama just tweeting this a few hours ago, quote, "The rise of anti-Semitic attacks should alarm all of us. Anti-Semitism and bigotry, like all forms of hate, have no place in our world, and it's on each of us to combat this growing threat. POTUS is right for President Biden to take on this issue, and he deserves our support."
Joining us now is author Alex Rivchin, whose powerful op-ed on anti-Semitism ran this past weekend in the New York Post. He's also written a book, The 7 Deadly Myths, Anti-Semitism from the Time of Christ to Kanye West. Alex, thank you so much for your time tonight. We have been dealing with this issue since really the beginning of time. Why can't we get a hold of this, and why is it seemingly getting worse?
Well, as you say, anti-Semitism is as old as time. It's referred to as the oldest hatred, and it has the capacity to lay dormant in a society, to seemingly slip away. But then when there's some turbulence, fractures in society, events like revolutions or economic downturns or pandemics, it all bubbles to the surface. And there's a number of factors why we've seen the resurgence of it. Certainly social media plays a key part. You know, historically, it required the printing press and the publication of books and artworks to go globally in a slow fashion to spread this propaganda and the conspiracy theories and mythology through which anti-Semitism thrives. But these days, as we see, particularly in the case of Kanye West, it takes social media, it takes a few moments, and the same tropes and lies that have led to the slaughter of the Jewish people for centuries can be spread globally.
Yeah, really quickly as well, and one person can do it. So we know sometimes it starts kind of with the small stuff. What should people be looking out for, and how is the average person supposed to have a role in this?
Well, the unique thing about anti-Semitism that distinguishes it from other forms of hatred is the way that it's transmitted and expressed through mythology and conspiracy theories that have been honed and shaped over centuries. So when we see people devolving into theories about Jewish control of banking, of government, of the media, about Jewish bloodthirstiness, about Jewish obsession with money, these sorts of things should be triggers and warnings to society, to law enforcement, that people are delving deeper and deeper into conspiratorial thinking, which often has very dangerous outcomes. And we saw in Allen, Texas, in that tragic massacre that occurred there, the gunman was one of these people that descended into anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, which ultimately pushed him over the edge.
What do you make of President Biden's announcement yesterday on the national strategy to combat anti-Semitism? Are you pleased with it?
I'm pleased. I think any time an administration prioritizes the fight against anti-Semitism, it's a good thing and they should be commended. But the key will be the execution. And this has to be done correctly. And for it to be done correctly, there needs to be a focus on education. And it has to be the right kind of education. We need to educate the public, particularly at the school level, what anti-Semitism is, what it looks like, and how it's expressed. And then we can begin to address the problem.
And lastly, real quick, what is the most effective way of persuading somebody that may be, you know, on the fence here about some of this stuff? Obviously, some people are just so racist that you can't do anything. But
yeah. Look, I found that you need to give people the benefit of the doubt. There are those that are so far gone that there's no purpose in engaging with them, but they're rarities. In most cases, engagement is critical. The more that people meet Jews and spend time with Jews, they tend to like them. And the mythical Jew that has been created over centuries tends to slip away. So the more that we can engage across communities, the more we can deal with anti-Semitism.
All right, again, his book is The 7 Deadly Myths, Anti-Semitism from the Time of Christ to Kanye West. Alex Rivchin, thank you so much for spreading this message tonight with us.
Thank you so much.